Welcome back to Video Waste Double Feature.
Welcome back to Aliens versus Predators versus
Freddy's versus Jason's.
Yes. We're back here with part 2, and we just finished Aliens versus Predators. So now we're moving on to Freddy's versus Jason's. And so let's kick this one off. I know we're going to have a difference of opinion on this one too.
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and tell me about
what the movie was about and stuff? The movie's about like 30 minutes over, like it's about 30 minutes too long. It's about, oh my god, the joke is so fucking like overused, but it is. Okay, so Freddy Krueger wants Jason to go and like scare the kids so he would become their dreams again, but I would be dreaming about Jason. I wouldn't be dreaming about Freddy. Like, I wouldn't, you know. And then John Ritter's kid is like, I really want to have sex with this girl, but Freddy Krueger killed all her friends at one point, but Jason did too. And then there's a police guard, and he's like, it's Jason. And then the kids are like, no, it's Freddy. And then the guy who was trying to pretend to be Jay from Jay and Silent Bob was like, you see that caterpillar? And then they just end up at Crystal Lake and they ended up in Jersey from fucking Springwood, Illinois. What did you think of this movie, Jacob? What did you think? Did you have fun watching this movie?
You remember when we used to just say, hey, the link to the description's down in the bottom of the video?
We should start doing that again.
No, I think you nailed it. That was exactly what happened in the movie.
Yeah.
So
that's what happened in the movie.
If you haven't seen it, now you don't need to.
Yeah.
No, I thought that this movie was a better version of Aliens vs. Predators. You're taking the big lug and putting him against the nimble, fast guy. Same thing with Predators and Aliens, but we can get more into that when we wrap up in part 3. I thought it was good. I mean, everybody knows the travesty of not letting Kane Hodder play Jason. That's a huge mistake, but this guy didn't do bad. He played Kane Hodder playing Jason, basically. So the cues and the marks were pretty close to what Kane would have done. But overall, the movie was good. It was a good idea. And again, we'll get back into that. This one, you know, Freddy's not strong enough because they forgot. So he resurrects Jason to make them remember, so he gets his power back. That's a good starting point.
That's an interesting story for a good. Like,
there you go. That explains why Jason. The only thing I don't understand is how Jason knew about Freddy and vice versa, but
because at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy Krueger's glove pulls Jason's mask under because New Line Cinema had purchased, and that's why instead of Friday the 13th Part 9, it's called Jason Goes to Hell because they didn't have the rights to it.
Right. Okay. Well, in either way, it was a good idea. It was a good jumping off point. And to be honest, I didn't mind because this is where the teenagers being dumb, like the slut, the nerdy kid, the stoner, this is where they fit. This is how these movies have always been.
Yeah.
So when you put those kids together, this is where it makes sense. When you add people to a versus movie.
Yeah.
Alien vs. Predator didn't make any goddamn sense. Completely pointless. Here, it makes perfect sense. They both terrorize teenagers. So, yeah, it's a group of teenagers. And I think that they did this movie pretty well. I don't know why maybe somebody who really knows in depth about Nightmare on Elm Street can tell me why Freddy knew karate, but
because the director was the Kung Fu guy,
James Wan or whatever.
He directs action movies, and he happened to do The Bride of Chucky, and they were like, fuck it, give him this movie, who cares? And then on first day on set, I think he was like, I've never seen a Friday or a Nightmare on Elm Street, or he was like, I saw Nightmare 3, like once, and I fell asleep or something. Like, it was that kind of like conversation. I know people were pissed at, this director and stuff.
Yeah.
You haven't seen any?
But that's the other thing that we can get back into in the wrap-up, but you can't make a Versus movie that's a horror movie.
No.
It has to be an action movie.
movie.
And they made 2 action movies with these 2 movies, and that's fine. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
There were still a few horror elements. There was throwbacks to what made these people scary. There was throwbacks to, like, their pasts that remind you that this is horror-based. But at the same time, like, I understand this is going to be an action movie.
Yeah.
So I'm totally fine with this. I saw this movie in theaters like 6 times.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Did you? What do you think?
Okay, this is really good on paper, and it kind of like slouched on delivery to where, first of all, you split the audience. People that go see Freddy vs. Jason.
That's not a bad thing. Yeah.
Like, nobody was rooting for them fucking aliens on Alien vs. Predator. Okay. Nobody was sitting there like, I really hope the aliens just win. It's like, nobody fucking was doing that. But in this, there were people that were like, I think Jason would definitely win. No. Freddy's going to win,
But that's great for the movie in general. That's great for, like, that. Look, in every Jason movie, in every Nightmare movie, in every Halloween movie, every Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, no, we'll leave Texas out. Let's take the 3 Supernaturals. There would be no survivor. There is no beating them.
No.
There is no, like, oh, well, if we pull him from his dream into the real world. No, fuck you. You're not going to get a chance.
Yeah, it never worked at
like,
the end of every Freddy movie.
Right.
He'd always come back or something.
You can't kill Jason.
No.
You can't kill Freddy. You can't kill Michael Myers for some reason.
Yeah.
So, like, oh, that's right.
Thorn.
The Thorn. The best movie ever made. So, like, you can't kill these motherfuckers. So, like, why is this your end game? Like, you should just be making it a slaughter.
No.
They should have started together, and at some point they should have just teamworked and just wreaked havoc to, like, the end of the movie. They should have done, like, a Devil's Rejects style ending where they're just walking and slashing and cutting and killing, and, there's a fucking army standing there like, you're going no further.
Yeah.
And then just let the movie end.
No.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I think that would have worked. I think also what would have worked is
the original ending? Because that would have been fucking awesome.
Where, Pinhead, gentlemen, what seems to be the problem? Yeah, that would have made more sense. Or it was all, the whole movie had it just, like, no. Jason and Freddy, they're chained up in the Leviathan, and they thought this whole thing was real. And it wasn't real. It was all Pinhead's scheme and stuff. That would have been...
But to what end? Because then that would have made a sequel.
Where they keep on...
This fucking loser.
They keep on just fighting with each other. That's their torment forever.
Okay.
Now,
I dig that.
But, yeah, so... Is it bad? I don't particularly care for it. But it's watchable. In some scenes. Do you notice the blur? Like, in some of the camera blur where it has, like, that, like, choppy...
Did you check all 80 TVs you have in this house?
Yeah, I swear. Yeah, I'm freaking... Like, if you watch it closely, like,
Well, to be honest, I don't. Okay, so two things. Number one, I don't think the director gave a shit about making this movie.
No.
To be very honest with you. So I think that if that is the case, there are blurry scenes. He probably went, fuck it, that's good enough. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then two, do you think that this movie could have been better with a different director?
I think it could have been.
Not like Tarantino or something. But
no. I think the movie could have taken like different directions where when you hear Freddy versus Jason, what's the fight going to be like, you know? And it's like, well, why did it have to be a fight, you know?
Well, because there has to be a fight.
Could have been a body count.
No, because they're not best friends.
Just
they're
sitting
not
there and be like, I bet I can...
I bet I can kill more than you.
Yeah, but I can kill
friends.
I bet I could kill more than you. And then Jason's just sitting there just like...
they're not friends.
It's a checkers game, and they're just sitting there just like... Yeah.
The fight makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was happy to see it. Again, the karate thing blew my goddamn mind. He was just piecing up Jason for 20 minutes. And he would have probably honestly lost had it not been for what's-her-fucking nuts coming over there and being like,
oh my god, yeah, fucking... we'll get in... okay. That needs to be a discussion.
Alright, before we get there, I think that this movie hit all of its marks really well. I think that the movie was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was literally just jerking off fans of these movies, and I like to be jerked off by movies. So it worked perfectly for me. I enjoyed it, and they did a good job. And I hate Kelly Rowland, but everybody else did. I mean, show stealers. Who do you got?
Me, same thing. The titular characters. That's who I'm there to see. I'm not there to see the victims. I'm not there to see, like, nobody really stood out on victim side. We gotta go, Jason and Freddy.
Right.
Or somebody like a victim. Nobody stood out to where I was like, a Nancy or a Loomis, or maybe that would have helped it. Like a Loomis, like a person who knows about Freddy and Jason 100%. Not speculated like the cop, but just somebody like, he's out there.
But they would have had to bring
I shot him 6 times.
They would have had to bring that character from out of nowhere, and nobody would have accepted that. But, okay, so for me, the show stealer is Will and Mark. Like the kids from the mental institution. Those were the only people that had any acting ability in the movie.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed their characters. They tied stories together about the team of Sil and being put away.
Yeah.
It added to the story, and they were decent actors.
I'll give you that.
So, and the other show stealer is the guy that looks a little bit like Danny Bottaducci, the redhead guy, the Mark's brother.
You know who that is? That's the kid in A Christmas Story. What are you gonna do? Cry? That's him. That's fucking him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. Because he's old.
Yeah. Well, I like that guy. I was kind of hoping to see him in more, but all right. So, do you want to do it? Do you want to go into this whole
show breaker?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go into it.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. I don't know who was teaching that young lady, I don't even know her name, to act. But
which one?
Huh?
Which one?
The main one.
Okay, because the only one that could fucking act halfway decent was Ginger, and she died in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and she's got the cap on to wink and a nod to PJ Souls.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what told to do on set. Other than to get the coffee, maybe, and stuff. It's like, you want to be in this movie? I'm here to get the coffee. I'm sorry, I don't know where to stand and stuff. It's like, no. We don't have anybody. They didn't show up. You want to be in the movie? Like, yeah, sure. But man, her acting was real bad, and that just every time she would be on screen, being angry with Freddy Krueger, I would just go, you know how much I care now? I care just that much less. And every time it would just go, oh, there goes a star. Look at, there goes a star just burning out in the sky. There goes another one.
The only thing that she did well was the end of the movie. Like, the very end of the movie.
The credits?
God damn it. No, the end of the movie where she's like, no, I want to watch him die. Not that part, but like from then on in the movie, she did good at acting because she really, like, she made me believe that she really hated Freddy.
Oh.
Like, she, like, screamed a lot. She did, you know, like, she wasn't, well, what do you think about my nose? What about nose job?
Yeah.
You know, but up until that point where she got, like, loud and put some bass in her voice, she was useless as well.
I'm just like, of the Freddy, of all of the ladies in the Freddy universe, okay?
No, we're not talking about the Freddy universe.
No.
We're talking about Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, but...
And Nancy can't fucking... Heather Langenkamp can't act either.
That first one, her first movie was great. But, okay, so...
That's because we didn't know
Patricia
any better
Arquette
yet.
and... I forget
These people can't.
redhead from the fourth one.
I don't know.
Can't remember her name and stuff. She's a great, but it just seemed like she was out of place. So,
I mean, I thought well, see, that's not. Well, are you saying like, as far as Freddy's world goes, she's out of place with the other women?
yes. Like
Okay,
if you were
so
to watch
take that into account because this isn't a continuation of either of those movies.
I feel like it is though.
It is definitely aimed at Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh yeah,
The
and
music
they
starts that way,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's him with his monologue in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely understand that.
Mhm.
This does seem like a Nightmare on Elm Street featuring Jason.
Yes,
But-
this movie happened to have Jason in it.
Right.
Could have had anybody in it. Freddy versus Elvira. Elvira would win. But
That's a porn I'd watch, though.
no.
Dude, Cassandra, hottie. Even still now.
Mm-hmm. She
Anyways.
lost her virginity to Tom Jones.
That's sad. Did he already have the plastic face?
No,
Wait, which, like...
who do you think Tom Jones is?
Unusual to be the... No, not him, the other guy.
No, that guy.
That guy?
Yeah. It was like 1969. She was a showgirl in Vegas.
Dude, that's sad.
Yeah. I mean, in 1969, you know, he was young.
That's fair. He might have been a good-looking guy at that point. All right, so are there any positives to this movie? Like, did you see anything that you were like, cool, I'm glad I watched this for that reason?
All right. The beginning of the movie, okay? That whole, like, you know, love letter to the horror fan was very nice. Even the idea that they took Freddy and they kind of gave him that look from New Nightmare, which obviously is a completely different Freddy, except it's not as, like, bulky and swollen and stuff. But the idea that his eyes and his teeth and his ears look completely different than what we know as Freddy Krueger, and then he morphs into what we know as Freddy Krueger. I like that. I like the small things that Jason does. I don't like, you know, where, like, in this movie, Jason has superpowers. Like, he's going to stab you with a machete through a tree. And that just doesn't feel very Jason-y. Jason's deaths always felt like...
Didn't Jason do that with a spear, though, in, like, 2 or 3 or something? Didn't he hit a girl with a spear, and then she flew back into the tree?
Yeah, but that's not like taking a machete and then, you know, impaling someone up on a tree. No, it isn't. A spear is like, it would go through a tree. I could put I could spear someone through a tree.
You think so?
Yeah,
I
maybe.
guarantee you. All right, we need a volunteer. From the audience. I guarantee you, if you
just
threw
take a
spear,
ham or something. We could probably,
if you threw a spear,
Okay.
it would hit somebody. They may fall down.
Nah.
If you take all of your force, still holding on to a machete, you could at least get it through them. More than likely, if you don't hit the spine.
Okay.
Either way,
I see where you're
semantics.
going with this.
Pointless semantics.
Yeah.
But okay,
Yeah.
cool. So, anything else?
I did. Like I said, there are small moments in the movie that are fun and really good. I don't like the fact that they started using more CGI for certain effects. Freddy's dreams, some of them look really good, but then that caterpillar comes crawling out, and I'm just like, oh man, this is so sad. This is a sad day in the world.
It made me think of Alice in Wonderland for some reason.
Well, that's what I think they were trying to do with the caterpillar smoking weed,
Maybe.
But I just don't feel like that was necessary when they had that really cool set that's red, it's the boiler room, it's classic. Yeah. We know what it is. You know what it is.
Right.
I find those moments really nice, and those deaths are more interesting. But
I like the way Jason cleared out the cornfield.
yeah, especially all the
was
stupid people in there.
Well, yeah, but he was just walking and slicing.
Yeah.
Like, a couple of... there was one part towards the end of that scene where I was just like, what are you still doing there?
Yeah.
Like, did you not see him murder 30 people before you? And then there's, like, 3 dudes just still standing there, and he, like, walks over and hits them. And it's like, you didn't think to move? Or at least get a weapon? If you're going to be that guy that's like, this force of nature just killed half my high school, I gotta kick his ass. Cool, if that's your MO, if that's your jam, do it. Maybe weaponize yourself and not hold a fucking beer the entire time. But anyways,
there's some crazy shit going on over there.
Yeah.
Woo!
Maybe
this is
if
the
we
best
just
bar
mind our
mitzvah I've
business.
ever been to. Yeah. Just like, certain things like that. But I think that goes back on directing. Everything that I'm really bitching about is just kind of like direction, not writing. I mean, the writing has some hiccups, but it's more on direction. So,
okay, now let's talk about the characters, because we mentioned the characters for Alien vs. Predator. What did you think of Jason's look?
I hated Jason's look. That puppy dog eye, that one little slouched over eye that he has and stuff, it kind of gave him emotion, whereas I'm always used to those solid black eyes.
Well, they did that before this one. But, no, I completely agree.
Yeah, but, they would do it, in small moments where you would see it. But, if Jason was on that side of the room, you would, in this version, you would see that, slouched over eye. But if this was the 80s, it would just be some guy with the hockey mask and can't see nothing under there. And I feel that's more intimidating. It would be color correcting Freddy Krueger's sweater to make it brighter for filming. And it's no. That's not the right red, and that's not the right green. Mm-hmm. And now it does look like he's wearing a Christmas sweater, not, Freddy Krueger's sweater.
I thought that Jason looked good. I agree with the eye thing. No. But outside of that, I thought that they did a good design of Jason. As far as, the mask looking old and beat up. I didn't mind the black head, because at that point he would start to be decaying. You wouldn't still have bits of hair, really. No. But I thought that was good. Mm-hmm. And I thought Freddy was good. They kept it they were like, look, this dude has been nailed down all the way up till fucking 6. 7, we went a little R-worded. We're back. So I think that they did a great job with him. He doesn't need to be changed. No. He didn't need new fucking, all that stuff that we went over.
The leather coat would have been cool. I thought the leather coat on him was cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Not the long one from 7.
The trench coat.
Yeah. That was kind of a cool look to him.
I think it added. It wasn't leather though. It was just a trench coat.
You think it was looked like a duster?
I mean, it could be. Maybe.
Maybe.
But anyways, so I thought that they did a good job designing each character.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that this is not. I think that this is a good way to do this. Again, I know I'm going into an action movie, so
It's an action movie. Yep. It's not a horror movie, unfortunately.
all right. Give it a star.
Two for both. I find that on my platform and my world and stuff, both now, is it better? Okay, I'll go 2.5 because it is better than Alien versus Predator. Okay, but there's something about me where I just don't like these movies as much. If you sat me down and had those 4. And I had my choice, either watch those 4 or the original movies that all 4 of those characters came from. I would choose those in a heartbeat.
Duh, everybody would.
Yeah.
But would you rather watch these or like fucking 5, Jason 5?
Yeah.
You'd rather watch this?
I'd rather watch Jason 5. I like Jason 5.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah. That's the one where he has the highest body count. That's not
well, I was going to say The Curse of the Thorn, but we already know the answer. Of course we're going to watch that. All right. Well, anything else you want to talk about?
You didn't start.
Oh. Well.
You want to join into this conversation? You're just holding off. You've been sitting here like, oh, it's great, and stuff. He gave it to
I mean, it's not great, but it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that they made the proper attempt.
No.
I'll go as far as, like, this one's 3. I'll give this one 3.
Yeah.
Alien vs. Predator is 1. This one's 3. I think it's surpasses that one. So.
Yeah, definitely. So.
Alright, well, Bret Hart sucks, and that's Freddy vs. Jason. Part 3's coming right up.